Covering Santa Clara, San Francisco, East Bay, and all the Bay Area, this is ABC 7 News.
A commander in the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary has resigned because of this next I-Team investigation that found he exaggerated his prior military service in a major way, pretending to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, it's the latest example of what's called stolen valor to come across I-Team reporter Dan Noyes' desk, and he's here tonight with his exclusive investigation. Dan.
Well, Dan and Amma, it's one thing to pad your resume or to exaggerate your life story from a bar stool. It's another to falsely paint yourself as a hero and to wear awards for which others gave their lives. The U.S. Coast Guard's auxiliary is comprised of civilian volunteers. They perform many of the same functions as active duty members: search and rescue, harbor patrols, and keeping boats safely away from events such as the America's Cup.
Welcome aboard. Take your seats, gentlemen, ladies.
For the past 20 years, Jim Van Fleet has been a major figure at Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 1291 out of San Ramon. And your title? What's your actual title?
Currently, I'm a flotilla commander.
Like many in the auxiliary, Van Fleet has prior military service in the Navy. And boy, he has some stories.
Well, I got shot in the head here. There's still a crease in my skull where you can feel the bullet path as it creased my skull. What a headache.
Van Fleet told me he got 2 Purple Hearts in Vietnam. That's the ribbon at the top, in the middle with the gold star. And 2 Bronze Stars, the red and blue ribbon at the top left, with the gold star and V for Valor. And above those, a gold trident, the insignia given to Navy SEALs.
I was in naval intelligence and I was trained as a frogman. And so today you call them Navy SEALs. I was a young pup.
Wow, a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Van Fleet's tall tales have caught up to him because of a new push by military veterans to expose the phonies. Someone snapped this picture in Monterey last year and posted it to the Fake Warriors website for identification. Finally, a member of the local Coast Guard Auxiliary was browsing the pictures this month and recognized Van Fleet. He called retired Navy SEAL Don Shipley, who verified Van Fleet is a fake using the SEAL database.
All I got to do is check your name. I'll check your name. Just like that, a couple of keystrokes. I'll tell you if that guy was ever SEAL or not. It's that easy.
Then I filed a Freedom of Information Act request and received Van Fleet's records. He served 3 years on the USS Rupertus. No Purple Hearts, no Bronze Stars, no Navy SEAL. You know, Jim, I got to tell you that I know that those are fake medals. I know that you aren't a Navy SEAL. I know that those Purple Hearts are not real. Those Bronze Stars are not real. I've pulled your records. Why wear those? Why embellish your service? It took Van Fleet a moment to compose himself.
I spent 3 years in country Vietnam.
On a ship?
Yes, sir.
In country means you're on the ground. You weren't on the ground.
We had occasion to put boats in the water and go ashore to provide medicine and so forth to villages on the shore.
But you were a radar man, looking at a scope in a dark room on the ship.
Yes.
Van Fleet told me he decided to wear the medals because he felt unappreciated after returning from Vietnam, and he questioned why I even began this investigation.
Why are we doing this? What difference does it make to you?
The issue matters deeply to these 5 retired Navy SEALs.
AK-47, April the 9th, 1969.
Together, they have about 100 years' experience as SEALs, from Vietnam to Iraq and Afghanistan. Each paid a personal price.
Well, 3 rounds directly to the body, at least 10 that we know of between body armor, weapon, helmet.
Hearing loss, shoulders, back, knees, neck are the typical injuries for SEALs.
And they have seen a spike in the imposters. The experts believe there are as many as 1,000 phonies for every living Navy SEAL.
It's more common than you think of, and the people that are stealing this from the people that are actually earned it, there's a special place in hell for those people.
I mean, I know in my career alone, I've been to over 50 memorials and funerals for guys that I worked with that fell on the battlefield. You can't put a price on that.
What do you say to the families of those who fought and died, who earned the medals, and you're wearing those? What do you say to the families?
I knew this would eventually happen. I didn't worry about it, and I wasn't afraid of it, and I figured when it happened, fine, then we'll just, we'll stop. It'll go away. I'll stop doing it. And that's what I shall do.
It's not that easy. Well, I had a heated exchange with Van Fleet about an apology for what he's done. Watch that in a web extra at abc7news.com. He resigned late last week after the Coast Guard launched an investigation. By the way, Van Fleet told me even his wife believed he was a Navy SEAL. He works as a private eye. Dan, Amma.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Dan.